Fraud number 4. The free market is the most efficient way to develop. We hear and read a lot about something called the free market. That somehow there is this place where goods and services are exchanged. That keeping it free is the most efficient way to have economic development. That somehow this has to do with freedom versus tyranny. The idea that such a thing as the free market exists or could ever exist is a gigantic myth for the gullible and a fraudulent ideological construct for the financial predators to use on the naive and stupid. The exchange of goods and services in any situation or market is not free and never will be. In this grand mythology, there is an economic term developed called supply and demand. That somehow this is a self-regulating and operates free of human will, like the tooth fairy, and that no government or nation should interfere. Worse, you will not graduate with a degree in economics or pass an economics class without mastering this mythology. The way this mythology is usually explained to the student undergoing indoctrination into the cult of the market begins with a Robinson Crusoe example. A stranded Crusoe runs into Friday, and they begin to exchange things. This is called trade. This expands to Friday's relatives, and so on. The idea from this is that trading is the basis and essence of economics, not the physical production of goods, not the plans to build a community or the plans to build a nation. Based on the idea of swapping things, everything else in the economy is explained. Things that are produced to satisfy supply and demand. And that is it. Some of the political consequences of believing in this mythology is that the place where the swapping occurs, the market, is treated as the new god that everyone must worship and obey as the ultimate referee of who gets what and who does not get what. With that, the institutions that govern and set the rules for where this swapping occurs, in turn, become the governors of our lives and what we can and cannot do. It is all very brutal and magical, which is why many call it the magic of the marketplace. The higher authority governing our lives, the nation, and the world. The historical guru of all of this is someone by the name of Adam Smith, 1723 to 1790. He is considered, to this day, as being the founder and the basis for the standard economics curriculum that is taught in our schools. Adam Smith and other philosophers living in the same period, like David Hume, 1711 to 1776, are founders of what is called modern liberalism, which in all its forms, before and after, is the greatest anti-human philosophical disease of all time. What about Karl Marx in all of this? Karl Marx was also a follower of Adam Smith philosophically, and Marx's economics is also based on Adam Smith, which is why Marxism does not work. In his effort to find a theological justification for the magic of the marketplace, Adam Smith had this to say in his theory of moral sentiment, 1759. I quote, "To man is allotted a much humbler department. Nature has directed us to the greater part of these by original and immediate instincts. Hunger, thirst, the passion which unites the two sexes, the love of pleasure, and the dread of pain, prompts us to apply those means for their own sakes, and without any consideration of their tendency to those beneficent ends which the great director of nature intended to produce by them." End quote. In other words, one's obedience to one's original instincts, left unchecked, will generate the greatest good. So, who and what is this great director of nature that would ever want us to merely obey our basic instincts, as if we were mere animals?